Hello and welcome all. Today we will discuss how we are getting a desired output voltage in an SMPS. Let's take this circuit. There is the inductor, primary inductor, secondary inductor, and the input voltage is 10 and the output voltage is 5. We want an output voltage of 5. And there is a transistor. This transistor is switched off according to that the desired output voltage is getting. When the transistor is switched on, the current start to flow through the primary inductor with a rate of change. The rate of change is desired by the input voltage and the primary inductance. Here we are taking the primary inductance as 1 millihenry. This is determined by the rate of change. What is actually the rate of change? The rate of change of current means, say, take in 1 second, to what value the current can reach from 0. That means to what value the current can reach from 0. This is called the rate of change. That is the current in 1 second. The value of the current that reach in 1 second. To calculate the rate of change of current, in this case the input voltage is 10 volt and the inductance is we are taking as 1 millihenry. So we can calculate that V by L is 10 by 1 millihenry is given by 10 into 10 raised to 3 ampere. That means in 1 second, if 1 millihenry inductor is used and the input voltage is 10 volt and we switch on the transistor, the current would reach to 10,000 ampere in 1 second. This is the graph. It shows that this is the slope. That this is in 1 second, the current would reach at 10,000 ampere, 10 into 10 raised to 3 ampere. This is the slope or the rate of change of current. And the voltage possessed by this current is 10 volts. That is, when current flows through the primary coil, the coil opposes the input voltage with the same 10 volt. So the input voltage has to spend 10 volt of energy to overcome the coil voltage. This is due to the self-inductance of the coil. So each electron possesses a 10 volt. 10 volt, and in 1 second it will reach 10,000 ampere. Now let's consider that the transistor is on for only 10 microseconds. Then what would be the current value? The current value is given by in 10 microseconds. In 1 microsecond, the current would reach to 10,000 ampere. So in 10 microsecond, this into 10,000 ampere into 10 microsecond, that gives 100 milliampere of current. That means in 10 microsecond, the current through the coil will become 100 milliampere. This is this. In 10 microsecond, the current would reach at 100 milliampere. And after 10 microsecond, if we off the transistor, what would be the instantaneous energy? Instantaneous energy means the energy at the time, only at the time the transistor is off, not the average energy. As we know that in the transformer, there is a core is inside the transformer. This is the core. There is a core inside the transformer and the energy is stored inside that in a coupled inductor model transformer. This is a coupled inductor model, and when the transistor is on, the energy is stored in the transformer core. So if we calculate the instantaneous energy at the time of 10 microsecond, that is closed. That is given by voltage into current. At 10 microsecond, the current would be 100 milliampere, and the current possesses 10 volt of energy. So this into this will give a 1 joule of energy at the time when this is the instantaneous energy, not the average energy. At the moment the transistor is off, the energy is 1 joule at 10 microseconds. Now, the property of the inductor is that it does not want to change its magnetic field. So, after the transistor is on and a 1 joule of energy is stored in the core of the transformer, it wants to stay in that energy. The magnetic field wants to stay in that energy. But how the magnetic field reach to this energy level? This is because of the flow of electrons. But how the magnetic field reached to this energy of 1 joule? Because of the flow of 10 milliampere of current with 10 volt of energy, it would reach to 1 joule. Once the magnetic field reached that energy, it want to continue in that energy. That means it want to continue in the energy of 1 joule. This energy is acquired by the flow of electrons. The 100 milliampere, the instantaneous energy is achieved by the flow of 100 milliampere of current with 10 volt. By this flow of electrons, the magnetic field is able to maintain the energy. Now look at the secondary. Let's say the number of turns in the secondary is half of that of the primary. This turns is half of the primary. Now how will we get 5 volt, half the voltage of the primary in the secondary, in the output? So we want 5 volt of output, and the magnetic field has to maintain its property. That what is the property? The property is that it does not want to change its magnetic energy, and the output voltage we want is only 5 volts. So at the moment when the transistor is switched off, the instantaneous energy is, we say that 1 joule. So in order to get 5 volts at the output, and the magnetic field property has to be satisfied, that the magnetic field wants to remain in the instantaneous energy that it has. Here the instantaneous energy is 1 joule and the output voltage is 5 volts. As we know that energy is equal to voltage into current, or current is, from that we can derive the current is energy by voltage, that is 1 joule of energy and 5 volt. That means each electron has to carry, that means here 200 milliampere, here the voltage is only 5 volt, and here 200 electron has to carry 5 volt, then only this 1 joule of energy is circulated in the secondary. Then only here in the primary 100 milliampere with 10 volt is the circulated energy. Now we only want 5 volts and the energy 5 volt, and the energy has to be 1 joule. So that 200, earlier it was 100 milliampere at 10 microsecond, now it becomes 200 milliampere. 200 milliampere with 5 volt will give the same 1 joule. So 200 milliampere when the transistor is off at a 10 microsecond, the current in the secondary would be start from 100 200 milliampere, and each of the electron possesses 5 volt, so the total energy would be 1 joule. And when it is closed, when the transistor is off, the energy is 1 joule, and when the secondary is conducting, the energy is also 1 joule. So it may satisfy the property of the magnetic field to remain in the same energy. Now that there are two equations are there to get the voltage. One is on the basis of the flux, change in flux, and the other is on the basis of change in current. Corresponding to the change in flux is that N into d phi by dt will gives the voltage, and the equation related to current is that change in current multiplied by the inductor will gives the voltage. If we apply both the equations, the same result would have to be we have to get the same result. And we also want to know what is the difference between d phi by dt and di by dt. Is this equation both are same, or whether there is any difference? First, we look at what is the di by dt of the primary and the secondary. First, we take di by dt of the primary. Di by dt means change in current per second. In 1 second, what will be the change in current? Here we can see that after 10 microseconds, the primary current, this is the primary current, is at 100 milliampere. It means after 10 microseconds, the primary current will be 100 milliampere, and at the beginning it is 0, and it is happening 10 microseconds. So we can calculate. So the current after 10 microseconds minus the starting current divided by time. The current after 10 microseconds is 100 milliampere. The starting current is 0, and which is happened in 10 microseconds. So it will give the rate of change. That is means it will give the current in 1 second. It will give 10 into 10 raised to 3. That is, and the di by dt is 10,000. This is we have already calculated. This is the current rate of change of current in 1 second. That is 1 second it will reach to 10,000, and the voltage this current acquires is 10 volt. Now we will look at the secondary current. As we said, the secondary current, when the transistor is switched off, 200 milliampere of current with 5 volt is starting, and it is after 10 microseconds the current would reach to 0. So the starting current is 200 milliampere. So the di by dt of secondary can be calculated of the current at the starting minus the current after 10 microseconds divided by time. The current at the starting is 200 milliampere. The last current is 0. This is happening 10 microseconds. So in 1 second, the rate of change of current is 20 into 10 raised to 3. That is 20,000 ampere. That is, the primary rate of change of current is 10,000 ampere. The secondary rate of change of current is 20,000. It is doubled. The rate of change of current is doubled. When the primary is on, the rate at which the current is increasing is only 10,000. But when the transistor is closed and the secondary is starting to conduct, the rate at which the transistor current is decreasing is 20,000 ampere. So the rate of change of current in the primary and secondary is different. The secondary is rate of change is double. The primary current is only 10,000. That means in 1 second it will only reach to 10,000 ampere. As far as the secondary current is concerned, it is starting from 200 milliampere and it is decreasing very fast. In double speed it is decreasing. That means if we look at the change in flux is given by the energy after 10 microseconds. The change in flux in the primary is given by energy after 10 microseconds minus energy at the start divided by the time. As we calculated the energy after 10 microseconds is 100 milliampere into 10 volts. 100 milliampere into 10 volt, that is gives 1 joule. At this time the energy is 1 joule. So energy in the primary after 10 microsecond is 1 joule. The starting energy is 0. It is happening in 1 microsecond and 10 microsecond 1 joule. What is the energy in the secondary? Energy in the secondary is given by energy 200 milliampere into 5 volts. That will also give 1 joule. That will also give 1 joule. So energy at the starting when in the secondary is 1 joule. So energy at the start minus energy after 10 microsecond by time. Energy in the starting is 1 joule in the secondary, and after 10 microsecond there will be no energy is left. It is happening in 10 microsecond. So the rate of change of energy is 1 joule in 10 microsecond. So here the change in flux, change in energy for the primary and the secondary is same, that is 1 joule in 10 microsecond. The d phi by dt is different. Di by dt, but the di by dt in the primary and secondary is different. The change in current is double that of the primary. Now we will put these values. This value means the change in rate of change of current value and rate of change of flux value to this equation. The equation that we have already said. Thus V is equal to voltage is equal to L into di by dt. There is another point is that when the secondary coil becomes half of the primary, the value of the inductance does not change to half, but rather than this, the change rather than if the secondary coil number of coil is half, when the number of coil is half, this is the inductance. It is not directly changed to half. The inductance is not directly changed to half, rather than the secondary inductance is given by primary inductance into 1 by n square. That means primary inductance is 1 millihenry and 1 by 2 square means the inductance become 1/4 of the primary. Now the inductance become 1/4 of the primary. So if we calculate the secondary voltage, the inductance now become 1/4 of the primary. The primary inductance was 1 millihenry. Now it becomes 1/4 of the primary, and the rate of change of current is, as we said earlier, it was 20,000 ampere. So if we calculate, we will get 5 volts. Now what about this equation? This equation says that the rate of change of flux is same in both in primary and secondary. The voltage produced by each coil in the primary or in the secondary is same, but as the number of turns is half in the secondary, only half voltages we are able to get at the output. This is how we can control the output voltage and get a desired value of output.